Pregnant women are often faced with fatigue, body aches, nausea, and a nervous apprehension about what's to come. Maybe you're working a full-time job on your feet all day, or you're already chasing after your older kids. But are you taking time for yourself? Today we'll be discussing how to pamper yourself during pregnancy. This is Preggy Pals.
Is that a plus sign?
Pink or blue? Hospital or home birth?
What type of food should I be eating?
I think I just peed myself. I'm pregnant, and I have to exercise.
What pregnancy glow?
Wait, was that a contraction?
Gotta make these pants fit. I've got kinkles.
What do you mean there's more than one?
You've got the symptoms, and now you've got the support you need for a happy 9 months. This is Preggy Pals, your pregnancy, your way.
Welcome to Preggy Pals, broadcasting from the Birth Education Center of San Diego. Preggy Pals is your online, on-the-go support group for expecting parents and those hoping to become pregnant. I'm your host, Stephanie Glover. We've covered topics for every phase of pregnancy. Visit our episode guide on our website to scroll through those topics, and you can listen directly from your computer through iTunes or download our free apps available in Android, iTunes, and Windows Marketplace. And be sure to check out our new network app where you can listen to all your favorite New Mommy Media shows on the go. Here's Sunny with more information about how you can get involved in our show.
All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Preggy Pals. There are some great ways that you can get involved in our shows. We have segments that are part of each show. One's at the beginning of our show and one's at the end. And we'd love for you guys to get involved. So I'm going to highlight just a couple of them that I really like. So one is called Pregnancy Oops, and that's where you guys share your funny pregnancy stories, things that, you know, after it happens, you're like, whoops, or maybe it's like a pregnancy brain kind of situation that happens. We would love to highlight those. We think they're really funny, especially after the fact, right? It might not be so funny when you're going through it. After the fact, it's really funny. So we want to highlight some of those. Also, we're always looking for different pregnancy apps to feature on the show. We like to review different apps. New Mommy Media has a bunch of apps, and so does Preggy Pals has its own app. So we are an app-centric platform, if you will. And so we love to feature other apps out there that have helped you. Maybe it's something that helped you time contractions. Maybe it was something that helped you with your appointments that you need to go to, or, the kicks that you're counting for your baby. Whatever it is, let us know what it is, and perhaps we can feature it on the show and tell other pregnant mamas about it. So those are a couple ways you can submit for the segments on our show. If you are interested in participating in those segments, you can go to our website at newmommymedia.com. Click on the contact link. You can send us an email and just tell us a little bit about yourself and whatever you want to submit for the stories. Another way to do it is through our website. We have a new section on the site that allows you to submit a voicemail straight through our website. So you never have to actually pick up a phone. You can just record using the microphone on your computer, and it'll go right through the internet and over to us, and then we'll include that on the future episode. So there you go.
All right. Thank you so much, Sunny.
Sure.
So before we get started, I wanted to go ahead and go around the room, get on the phone, and introduce the panelists. So I'll go ahead and get started. I'm Stephanie Glover, host of Preggy Pals. I'm also a trained childbirth educator. I'm 33, I think. I have two daughters. Gretchen is 4, Lydia is 2. Gretchen was my C-section baby, and Lydia my VBAC. Marie?
Hi, I'm Marie. I'm 34 years old. I am a director of education for a small tech company here in San Diego. My due date is exactly 1 week from today, and that's because I'm 36 weeks pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl. They'll be my first kids, and right now they're both Vertex, so hopefully we'll get to have a vaginal birth.
Yay, another twin mama. Yeah.
Alicia, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Alicia Darnstedt. I am 24. I live here in Nashville, Tennessee, so really excited to be on the show, even from way out here. I'm a sales representative for an IT company here, and I am due with my first baby girl due in June.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us all the way from Tennessee. And Dana, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Dana. I am 27. I work for University of Colorado Hospital in the Business Services Department. I have 2 boys, ages 6 and 2.5. First one was C-section. Second was attempted VBAC but failed.
Well, welcome. And you didn't fail.
We don't like that word.
No. And Sunny, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. So I have 4 kids of my own, and the oldest is 5, and then I have a 3-year-old, and then my girls are twins, and they are, I don't know, about 26, 27 months now. I lose count after we hit the 2-year mark. I get really confused. I'm just going to say 2-ish. Okay, so before we get started, we have a news headline we're going to talk about today. This kind of caught my eye. I think the headline, I don't know, it's a little kind of a scary headline, and we certainly don't want to scare people with this, but we do like to bring out different research that comes out as it relates to pregnant women. So kind of forgive the headline here, but here's the headline. Skin cancer more deadly when caught during pregnancy. So here's what happened. It says here, I'm just going to read a portion of this. Melanoma may be even more dangerous when it's diagnosed in women during pregnancy or within a year of giving birth, a U.S. study suggests. Among women under 50 with malignant melanoma, those diagnosed during or soon after pregnancy were significantly more likely to have tumors spread to other organs and tissues, and were also much more likely to have the cancer recur after treatment. That's according to this study. Women diagnosed around the time of pregnancy were also more likely to die. Again, I don't like that word, though the risk increase wasn't big enough to rule out the possibility that it was due to chance. So anyways, thought it was worth mentioning. Wanted to get some feedback from everybody here in the studio, just to kind of see, is this the kind of stuff that you think about when you're pregnant? I feel like there's enough other stuff to be worried about besides
my thoughts
cancer.
exactly.
Yeah. Gonna be worse. Anyways, what's your reaction, Stephanie? What do you think?
I guess just a reminder to slather on that sunscreen. I don't know. I think Linda hit the nail on the head, though. We have so much to worry about in pregnancy that I'd like to think that it might just be by chance. I think we covered another headline, Sunny, about cancer cells and
I'm sure we
breastfeeding
have.
or something.
Yes,
I don't know. Wear your sunscreen, I guess.
Well,
I don't know really what else to say.
There's a whole other school of thought, though, where you don't wear sunscreen, right? Because that is actually cancer causing.
Right.
I mean, the whole thing is a crapshoot.
Stay inside.
Stay under an umbrella. That's right.
And for those of you that have other kids, you probably have to stay inside for the most part because you need to wrangle your kids.
Oh, man. I don't know.
Any thoughts, Mary, on this?
All I know is that when it was really hot here in San Diego, we had a heat wave. All I wanted to do was be inside with a fan on my face.
Yes,
so I couldn't even imagine like sunbaking when I was really just feeling so hot and hot flashes. So I guess I dodged a bullet on that one.
And it's interesting, too, because I can't remember the last time that I could actually lay in the sun because I'm always minding little kids that could be near water or something like that. But, yeah, I was the same way. But this could be something, too. When you are outside, a lot of times you don't necessarily have to be laying in the sun. You're just kind of active. You're running after your kiddos. I just know from, needing to put sunscreen on my kids that it can happen pretty quick, the kind of sunburn and stuff. So just something to keep in mind. Again, we like to throw these, headlines out there so you're aware. Certainly not something to lose sleep over, because you can probably find another study out there that says the exact opposite.
Right. But probably a broad-brimmed hat would be a good call.
There you go.
So today on Preggy Pals, we're talking about how women can pamper themselves during pregnancy. Joining us in the studio is Linda Goldsmith, labor doula and owner of the Pregnancy Sanctuary in Encinitas, California. She specializes in providing moms with birth support and pampering throughout pregnancy. So welcome, Linda.
Thank you. Good to be back. I was here a couple of years ago,
I
but
know.
it's been a while.
It's nice to have you
back. Thank you for
Well, you're
having
actually
me.
the first person I thought of.
Oh, thank you.
So let's start with the physical pampering. I know a lot of the times we think about a spa or a salon treatment, but what are some ways that pregnant women can get pampered in that sense?
So for pregnant women, the words spa and salon aren't always the right words, so to speak, because a way that a pregnant woman would pamper herself, for example, is usually consists of like prenatal massage, maybe some prenatal yoga, maybe some acupuncture, chiropractic adjustments, and that's not like at a salon or a spa.
Right.
When you do think about a salon, I think people think about manicure, pedicure, and getting your hair done. So obviously you have to be careful with the hair dyes and stuff like that to be careful. But yeah, manicures and pedicures honestly can make women feel on top of the world. I mean, it's a simple little thing that can really go a long way. As far as a spa, again, for women, it's not really a spa. It's more a place that offers those other, and there's other wonderful things too, like float. And Solana Beach. You're from Solana Beach. Yeah, float from Solana Beach. You're weightless and you're in water that's the same temperature as the insides of you. So it's super relaxing and it's sensory deprivation. So there's no noise, there's no light. You're completely buoyant. And as a pregnant woman, it feels, I can imagine with twins, feels fantastic. You're only in about 24 inches deep of water. Okay. So you could roll onto your front side if you wanted to and still be floating with your head to the side. So it's really nice for pregnant women too, the float thing. So yeah, the word spa is kind of funny. That's why I came up with Pregnancy Sanctuary, because I'm like, I say it's like a spa for pregnant women to kind of get their mind in that direction.
Right.
Yeah.
But the things that I offer, like a pampering session, are not
Spa services in the traditional
massage and
sense,
facial.
right?
Yeah, they're not. Massage and facial are great, but
Now, because we have some people on the show who are local, but for the floating, how would you search that for those who are in other?
the company's called Float.
Okay.
Yeah, so just search Float, and I think you're going to find some, and Yelp it. Be sure that the pregnant women are enjoying it. But I think you're going to find
That's
some really
interesting.
good
I hadn't
reviews.
even thought about that.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever tried that? Any of the panelists?
I've done it. Myself.
You've done it.
Yeah.
I have not, but that sounds wonderful.
Yes, and pregnant women really enjoy it. So yeah,
Now-
check it out.
Now, any of the panelists, did you get any prenatal massage or regular manicures or pedicures when you were pregnant?
I'll go first. I definitely did, and it was such a delight. When I was first in my first trimester and second trimester, I was traveling for work, and I was on my feet a lot. And so I found when I was traveling that I had actually a little more time on my hands. So I would go to local places that were well reviewed on Yelp, and I got the best massage in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and then I got another great one in Washington D.C. and just recently, through recommendation, I got another one here in Encinitas. And let me tell you, if I could go every day, I would. Just because when you're pregnant, I'm sure many of you know, everything just hurts, and it just feels so nice to know that you have an hour where you're not thinking about anything, and your job is to just relax. So that's
And
definitely
it's that
something.
intentional touch, too.
Yeah.
On the phone?
I have not actually experienced a prenatal massage myself, or I don't normally go out to get manicures and pedicures, but I'm very lucky because my amazing boyfriend rubs my feet on a consistent basis, because the bigger that I get, I just feel that I'm swelling so much faster, and I'm not ready for that yet, but he helps. And then I have a lovely best friend who is nice enough to paint my toes for me. And look pretty again.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. I remember when I was approaching my due date with both times, and this is just, I don't know, I got a little neurotic in the end. I think each time I had like teal or blue nail polish on my toes and refused to give birth with weird colored nail polish. And each time I had to get pedicures and they had to be pink. That was just
Really?
weird. Yeah. I don't know what it
Yeah.
was, but I got it in my mind about like a week or two before my due date. Like,
Did you
Well,
know
you
you were
were-
having girls? Was that the
I
pink
did have
thing?
girls. I don't know. I just felt like maybe
You were
they
probably
shouldn't
going to
see-
more mainstream.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
The
like they
mainstream. I'm going to be a mom.
Yeah,
I
like,
have to have
like I don't
normal
want to
colored
like
toes.
see blue toenails up in the stirrups or something. I don't know what it was, but it was
Exactly.
just, I don't know.
I think I'm weird.
I'm the same way.
I just got a little
I
neurotic
appreciate
about it. So, when you're pregnant, your body is changing so much.
So reflexology, don't rule that out. People are like, oh, and they can touch your feet, it can put you in labor. Real, I wish it was that easy. As a doula, like really, go get a reflexology and I'll meet you at 2:00. Right. It's just not that easy. So reflexology, I think, is a delight because, as you had shared, your feet take such a beating. They're so sore. And then also the Watsu body therapy in the water. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where they float you in the water.
Yeah,
You
you're
wanna-
guided. Like you're sort of,
Oh,
yeah.
Are you on a raft?
It's
I don't get it.
wonderful.
No, it's a person with you,
you're
right?
buoyant. So they're holding you up, and it's kind of like they kind of cradle like a baby.
Yeah.
Many times. So what I do recommend, because I've had it done though, is earplugs, because I can't stand water in my ears, and your ears are literally at right even with the water. So, but that can be very relaxing and take the weight off as well.
Watsu, how do you spell that?
WATSU.
Okay.
I think.
And can you find those places everywhere? Like where? what would
Well,
you
I live in Encinitas, California, so I can
know, we're
find it
a
on
little
every
spoiled
corner.
with-
Right.
But,
But someone in
I
Middle
think,
America.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, you may have to look a little bit harder than we would here in Encinitas or Boulder, Colorado. But yeah, I think you can find it.
Those are great tips.
Yeah.
And I know too, when we think about a manicure or pedicure, if we take that a step further in feeling pretty in pregnancy,
Yeah.
because our bodies just change so much and there is swelling, or, for me, I remember I would like break out at different stages of pregnancy, just all those different
on
things.
your face too. I hated when not just pimples and stuff, but those what they call it, the pregnancy mask and
Right.
stuff.
Oh, Skin
and the
discoloration.
pigment,
Oh,
all
yeah.
changes. So, and I would love to hear from the panelists as well as Linda on this. What are some ways that you can sort of feel prettier in pregnancy? Any tips? Did anyone do anything? I know there's hair, but Like,
I have lots of ideas.
Yeah.
Well,
Share.
start with Linda.
Yeah, let's start with
Okay,
Linda.
so at Pregnancy Sanctuary, the reason I opened Pregnancy Sanctuary because I wanted a safe place for women to be able to go where they felt nurtured and pampered and also heard and educated. And so the combination of the two was really nice. So like with the pampered session, that's a private 6-hour one-on-one that I do with a woman in her 8th month, maybe 7th if she's expecting twins. And it's really nice because they come in and 6 hours later they leave and I see a totally different person. And it makes me feel very good. And the things they write, I have a diary for the people that come through and it's like moves you to tears. I can't talk. I will tear up myself. But yeah, so a belly cast, if that doesn't make you feel pretty in the moment because it's messy and sloppy, but then when it's done, that really can warm your heart. And then to feed yourself with nutritious foods. If you eat the rainbow, that makes you feel really good. If you sit down and actually create that meal and maybe have a friend over and enjoy the colors, that can make you feel really good and pretty. Henna belly art.
Yeah.
That makes you feel very goddessy. I love that. And just by the way, for the listeners, it is temporary. It lasts about 2 weeks. Some people a week, some people 2 weeks, but it's just the henna plant, that the dye, and it turns kind of yellow. But when it goes on, it's a little bit darker, and then I add some shimmering fairy dust kind of a thing, and then you take pictures with that on there, and then that will crust and fall off and you're left with the yellow tattoo. But anyway, they feel very divine and very much like a goddess when they have that, and their belly's exposed. Just exposing the belly feels really goddess-like. So if you're at home, lift up your shirt, pull down your pants, like, walk around with your belly out. I mean, I think you can do it in public, but people have other opinions about that. But yeah, exposing your belly, decorating your belly. There's also people that do painted belly art, which is beautiful. If you haven't seen that, you need to go online and Google search it. It's incredible. Yeah. Some of these people have even painted like the baby in utero on the belly.
Like
with
belly
all the
mapping
organs
type
and
of
it's really cool. Really cool. Gorgeous artwork that way. And then I think another way that you can feel very, very pretty, and this is becoming really, really common too, is the maternity photo shoot.
Yeah.
They're just, you feel special. And I have a client, she's part of my Sacred Pregnancy Circles. Shout out to Stacy. She's pregnant, in labor right now. And she did her, and it wasn't planned, but she was out in nature and she just did it full in the nude.
I wish I would have done a nude photo shoot pregnant.
Yeah, so it's really cool. It was just her and the photographer, and her husband was over there with the kids. He didn't even know. He didn't know until like a week later.
Like my wife
when
is
we were
naked
talking about it.
It's very Adam and Eve kind of thing.
We have a relationships and romance night as one of the Sacred Pregnancy nights, and so he happened to be there for the next circle, and she was talking about her photo shoot. He's like, what? Yeah. But anyway, your photo shoot, and there's very artistic people out there right now. Not only is it just beautiful photo shoots that have always been that way with the the hands in the shape of a heart on the belly or the
silhouette.
Or the silhouette or the hand on the top and bottom of the belly. But they're adding gowns.
Yeah.
They're adding photo editing where you're like holding a light, like you're in a fairy forest.
I've seen some in water, like in pools.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're adding a lot to it. You can also do photo shoots. You have to be a little bit careful, but you can do them underwater.
Yeah.
People are doing that. So people are getting really creative. I think the maternity photo shoots make women feel so beautiful.
Right.
And any kind of adornment, I mean, I normally do these for ceremonies, but head wreaths make you feel, very pretty, and your decorated belly, and having your photo taken.
I mean, even just adding a pretty piece of jewelry too, because I mean, if you don't want to buy a whole new wardrobe, just putting something sparkly on.
No, it matters. It does. It's almost like the belly dancing thing, right? The scarves with the jingles and the blings, and I mean. Yeah, it makes you feel really feminine.
Well, and I'll just add that, right now I've just been working from home. I stopped working yesterday, and so I was in the yoga pants and like no bra mode, and I had a baby shower to go to last weekend, and I was like, I don't want to go. I have to get dressed. But like actually getting dressed, doing my hair, like taking a shower, it really made me feel a lot better. And I came home feeling rejuvenated. And I was I was kind of kicking myself for not getting my acting gear a little bit sooner and just getting ready and going out and feeling like a normal person when I just feel huge right now.
Well, and I think that the maternity clothes that are available to us now are so much better than they used to be. We don't have to be draped in tents.
So much better.
We can wear the cute fitted shirts to show off the belly, and you can even get special underwear to hold things in right, and nursing right. But it's all that stuff. You're like, geez, these are not comfortable anymore. I don't want to wear them, or so.
And you don't have to spend a fortune on maternity clothes anymore because so many of them are blousy. And I mean, you know what I mean? What's the word I'm
like
looking
the peasant
for?
top?
Yeah, like that. And so you can wear it again when you're done being pregnant too. Like you don't have to break the bank to get maternity clothes anymore.
So when we come back, we'll go over more ways to pamper yourself, mind, body, and soul, and some tips on how to do so on a budget. We will be right back. Welcome back. Today we're going over some ideas on how to pamper yourself when pregnant. Linda Goldsmith is our expert. So we've talked about some spa treatments, some ways to feel pretty, but let's focus on some ways to sort of pamper your mind and spirit and other ways to pamper yourself without breaking the bank, so things that you can do from home. Linda, you've already talked about some awesome offerings that you have at the Pregnancy Sanctuary that focus on the mother's overall well-being. But what are some other ways that you can dive in a little bit more to pamper yourself in a non-physical way, if you will?
Non-physical way. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the things I offer at Pregnancy Sanctuary can also be done at home with girlfriends too. You don't have to have a facilitator, so to speak. So I offer mother blessing ceremonies, which is very different than a baby shower. A baby shower is the focus is on the present and opening it for the baby, and there's not really a lot there for the mom. So a mother blessing ceremony focuses on the journey the mom's about to take with the birth, and what does she need? What kind of energy does she need? So the people you invite to a mother blessing ceremony is dramatically different from a baby shower. Baby shower, you're inviting everybody from work and your neighbors, and this is not that at all. This is like 6 to 10 people who believe in what you want to do with your birth and are there to support you, and you're gaining what you need from them. So, for example, if you're having a blessing way because you're having a VBAC, you may have some fear around, that kind of a birth. And so you're surrounding yourself with people who can, give you that emotional support that you can do it. So a mother blessing ceremony, my point is, does not have to be done at Pregnancy Sanctuary. Right. It can be done anywhere. It can be done at anybody's home. And there's no rhyme or reason to it that's specific other than ritual. It's a use of ritual. You can research rituals on Google. You can come up with your own.
And that would be the same like as a blessing way? Is that
a blessing way and
similar?
A mother's blessing are the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Yesterday I did a baby blessing. That was really sweet. But anybody can do them. They don't. So again, to save money and to not break the bank, that's a really nice way to handle that. And then Sacred Pregnancy Circles, that is a nationwide curriculum, and that is circles of women as opposed to couples taking classes. This is just women. And we're not talking about vaginas and dilation. We're talking about fears and connections and expectations and body image. And so, it's different that way. So I don't know that you could recreate that at home because there's specific curriculum for it. And then lastly is, what am I forgetting? Oh, the pampered sessions. So the pampered sessions that I offer that are the, private 6-hour one-on-ones, you can do some of that at home. You can piecemeal that. You can do belly casts at home. You can have somebody do henna belly art. Worst comes to worst, if they don't do a good job, you have a bad design for 2 weeks. But it's not the end of the world, and if you put
it's winter, just you're covering it up, whatever.
If you put a lot of oil on your belly, if somebody's going to do henna belly art for the first time, then it probably won't stay that long. Right. So you might want to put a little bit more oil than not. But you can buy all this stuff at Michael's craft stores and, you can do things on your own. As far as the services I offer out of Pregnancy Sanctuary, I don't think they're exclusive to pregnancies other than Sacred Pregnancy Circles. Right. But even if you buy the Sacred Pregnancy book and you meet with your girlfriends once a month, really creating a sisterhood is probably the number one way to feel good during pregnancy, is to create a sisterhood, number one, of other pregnant women. And number two, ask for what you want. Because I hear all the time, my husband won't even cook me dinner. I'm like, did you ask him to cook you dinner?
Well, we women, you have to read our minds.
That's right. That's right. And so ask for what you want. If you're like, I really wish, I could go for a walk on the beach every day at 4, but I can't motivate to get there. Well, ask a friend to motivate you to take you there, So you really have to learn to ask for what you want, and you get it. I mean, you're pregnant. Who turns down a pregnant woman? Honestly. There's all kinds of other ways to. What was the question to?
Just that aren't like
physical.
Well, that aren't a massage or, just ways that you can sort of pamper your mind and your soul. And
fresh flowers.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, all the women in the studio right now are nodding their head. Yeah, fresh flowers are great. And then also I think what's really important is building a sacred space in your house. It can just be your little nightstand. It can be a little shelf. It can be in your bathtub. It can be on the dashboard of your car, wherever it is. But a little thing where you have little tokens and reminders that make you feel good about your pregnancy and your upcoming birth. So it could be a picture. It could be a flower. It could be a piece of art. Affirmation cards are great. Lauren Tannenhill makes great ones. She sells them on Etsy. They're beautiful. She does amazing artwork. She lives up here in San Clemente. Yeah, so anything when you look at that altar, you want to take a minute and connect with your babies. I'm saying babies to the twin mama here. But yeah, connect with your baby or your babies. And that time connecting with your baby is really does make you feel tremendously better about yourself and your pregnancy, especially if it's a second pregnancy, because we get so busy looking after the other one that we're not spending a lot of time with this baby in utero. Mm-hmm. So it's a good constant reminder to check in with the baby and to marvel at the amazingness that pregnancy is. And then while you're at your altar, I encourage people to journal or meditate or listen to music. And they have a thing called, earbuds. They have a thing called belly buds. Mm-hmm. And you put them right on the belly. Yeah, you plug them in your phone and you play that music for the baby with the earbuds on the belly. So you can listen to music for yourself or for the baby. You can journal, you can meditate, you can just connect with the baby. You can read from the book. But yeah, the Sacred Pregnancy book is really, really sweet. It's almost like a cookbook because it has like a beautiful picture and you're like, how do I get that? And then it just gives you a little paragraph, your body, your mind, your spirit, talks a little bit about that week. And then there's places to journal about that topic. So you could do that on your own, out of your own homes, if you build a sisterhood, which I think is really important.
Yeah, building the tribe it's actually funny. Dana, who's on the phone, she and I know each other from a mom's group with our second. And I think that was a great tip too. Like when you are pregnant with your second, sometimes you do need connection and reminders that, yes, I am having another child. I need to pay attention to it. But Dana, I'm going to ask you, are there any ways that you felt that you were able to pamper yourself, be it through books or things that you've done at home in either of your pregnancies?
I kind of just pushed responsibility on the dad a little more.
Well, you asked for what you wanted.
It's so easy for a mom to just accept all the responsibility around the house. And, like you guys were saying, if you don't ask for it, they really aren't going to take initiative.
Right.
So I think that was the easiest way that I was able to kind of focus on myself and kind of do me rather than everybody else all the time.
Oh, that's a great point. Alicia, how about you?
Well, I was thinking how you said, being able to connect with your baby and being able to kind of gain that closeness even before they're born. And one thing that's really helped me is I got a heartbeat monitor. And so I love being able to just take some time, go, where everything's kind of nice and quiet. And I'm able to just sit there and listen to her heartbeat. And it's just so sweet. And it just reminds me how alive she is and how excited I am to meet her. And it just melts my heart every time.
Oh, that's sweet. Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. So, Linda, do you have any other tips that you'd like to share with us about pampering?
I do, for mental and emotional well-being. One thing, just because we have a twin mommy in here, I do this thing called Twin Talk, which anybody can do for anybody. I invite anybody I know that's had twins over for lunch. I set up a lunch, and then I let all those twin moms give you their best advice. They love it. They really love it. But I will tell you the top two are schedule them together in their feedings and ask for help. Those are the top two always. I don't want to ruin your twin talk lunch. But
sneak peek.
Yeah, but that's a good one. If you have existing kids, another thing you can do for your emotional well-being is trade off with other parents. So they watch the two toddlers while you and your partner go out, and then you watch the two while they go out. So you can get away even without paying for a babysitter, because I know that's what keeps a lot of people from going out is the cost of the babysitter. But you can trade off, and that does a lot for mom's well-being if she can have a little time away from the toddler, because when you're pregnant with a toddler, it can be rough. I would say also for your emotional well-being, hire a midwife or a doula, because your prenatal meetings actually become really valuable. And I have had more than many clients move to tears when the whole thing is behind them and they're a breastfeeding circle because they miss their one-on-ones with their midwives or their doulas. Mm-hmm. So that can be really helpful. For your emotional well-being, do try to connect with your partner some, and you may want to have to consider the 4 o'clock thing as opposed to the 8 o'clock date. You have to kind of move things a little bit sooner because you're tired. And if you wait, you don't feel like taking a shower, you don't feel like getting pretty and going out. And so if you do it, plan on it a little bit sooner, that's really nice. Way to get in time with your spouse. And also laugh, watch a comedy about pregnancy. I mean, Baby Mama is awesome, right? Watch a comedy. There's a lot of them out there. I have all the DVDs. I keep them in stock just to lighten the load sometimes. And also educate yourself. I think that can really emotionally help you when you educate yourself. If you read books or you talk with other moms or you take a class or whatever it is. And then also rest, nap, sleep in. And here's one that I don't think a lot of people consider, and I think you should, because there's a lot of us that don't work for huge corporations anymore. You can ask your boss, can I please come in a little bit late every day? Can I please come in at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock? I mean, you'd be surprised what you would get if you would ask for it, but nobody asks. And I can't tell you how many moms I've talked to who are like, oh, I have to work. I have to go back to work when I'm done. We need the money. I have to do it. And then the baby's 3 months old. I'm not going back to work. Oh, so it was feasible, So sometimes think about that. We have to really, put that first. Also, art. Oh my gosh, art is so great. And most women lose track of it somewhere between, 12 years old and 32. I don't know. So art, if you do painting, if you do crafting, if you do quilting, mosaic tiling, like all that stuff really does tend to fill the cup of most women.
Even the adult coloring books
That's right.
are so great to just check out.
That's right.
And
because
just color.
That became popular again
Yes.
because it's very therapeutic and it feels really good for women. Yeah.
Or if you have little kids, I have a lot of just regular coloring books.
Right.
I don't mind coloring
There
Winnie
you
the
go.
Pooh.
I
I'm
love
fine with
coloring.
that.
I'm all about the Disney princesses.
I've always taken coloring book and crayons on vacations, and people always laugh because they think it's for my kids and it's mine. And the kids always laugh. It's like, no, that's my mom's. And what about cooking? I mean, cooking feels good to some women, and some women know. Someone cook for me.
Right. So order takeout if it's not your thing.
Figure out. Yeah. And sometimes you just want time alone in the kitchen too. And sometimes you want to go out. So try to honor that. Dancing, dance alone. That doesn't cost any money. Dance alone, belly dance, salsa dance, ballroom dance with your partner. I mean, like get out there, move your body. Yeah, those are mostly the main things I have. Oh, devoted connection time can also be really good for emotional well-being. So what that is like every time you turn the car on or off, or every time you go to a stoplight, you stop and connect with the baby, or you honor your body, or, give thanks to the health that you have and the baby has. So those things can be nice. And discomfort, you normally apply warmth. So injury, ice, discomfort, warmth. So a little rice sock, heat it up on your back, a little warm bath, a cup of soup, a cup of tea. These are ways we pamper ourselves, and this is the way we comfort ourselves. So warmth is really nice. And lastly, just reach out if there's somebody that you need to maybe make amends with. This is a good time to do it in pregnancy before you start motherhood in particular. So sometimes we need to make amends with somebody before we move into motherhood so we can be at our best mothering person.
Well, thank you so much, Linda, for joining us
You're
today.
welcome.
These are amazing tips. But this wraps up our episode of Preggy Pals for today. So again, special thanks to Linda for joining us, as well as all of our panelists who've joined us in the studio or over the phone. For information about our show, as well as information about our panelists, visit the episode page on our website. This conversation continues for members of the Preggy Pals Club. After the show, we're going to be talking about some ways to pamper yourself if you've already got older kiddos.
Hey, Preggy Pals, it's time for a fun segment we have on the show called Pregnancy Brain Blunders. And you guys know when we're pregnant, our brain doesn't always function the way it normally does when we're not pregnant, right? So I love this comment. It comes from Marie, and I can totally picture this happening to me, Marie. So Marie writes, grocery shopping, got my daughter out of the cart and all buckled in the car, and drove off with the groceries and my purse sitting in the cart. Had to drive back when I could not find my purse. Grocery store management was looking at video to see if I was kidnapped. Talk about embarrassed. Well, I can totally see that, right? They see a cart there, the groceries are there, your purse is there. Makes complete sense, right? Did they notice you were pregnant? Probably everything made sense when you went back, right? They're like, oh, yeah, she's pregnant. Anyways, Marie, thanks so much for sending this in. If you have a funny pregnancy brain blunder you would love to share with us, we would love to hear it, and we'd love to share it with all the other pregnant mamas that are listening. You can go to our website at newmommymedia.com and send us an email. And also through our website, you can actually send us a voicemail. Just click on that great little banner on the side that says send voicemail, and you can use the mic on your computer and send it that way.
That wraps up our show for today. We appreciate you listening to Preggy Pals. Don't forget to check out our sister shows Newbies for postpartum moms during baby's first year, Parent Savers for parents with infants and toddlers, Twin Talks for parents of multiples, and the Boob Group for moms who breastfeed. This is Preggy Pals, your pregnancy, your way.
This has been a New Mommy Media production. The information and material contained in this episode are presented for educational purposes only. Statements and opinions expressed in this episode are not necessarily those of New Mommy Media and should not be considered facts. While such information and materials are believed to be accurate, it is not intended to replace or substitute for professional medical advice or care, and should not be used for diagnosing or treating healthcare problem or disease or prescribing any medication. If you have questions or concerns regarding your physical or mental health or the health of your baby, please seek assistance from a qualified healthcare provider.
How would you like to have your own show on the New Mommy Media Network? We're expanding our lineup and looking for great content. If you're a business or organization interested in learning more about our co-branded podcasts, visit our website at newmommymedia.com. Hey mamas, don't forget to check out Mighty Moms. It's our online community built for new moms just like you. Not only can you connect with other moms, but you can also join us backstage for special mom-only online events. And you'll also be notified when we're recording so you can join us as a special guest. Visit our website, newmommymedia.com, and click on the Mighty Moms banner. It's free. That's newmommymedia.com. See you there.